Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make true South African biltong here in the United States of America. And after about 30 years I found this piece at Costco. It's a pretty common piece in America actually. It's called the beef round, eye of round. And it's only $3.99 a pound currently right now. And it's what's nice about it is it's kind of on the long side and does have a fair amount of fat on, but I believe it to be the best to start. Okay, so I've unwrapped the eye of round, beef round, and got it laying over here ready to cut it now. And what's funky about this piece of meat is you'll find over here it's kind of flat like this, and then by the time you get to this end over here, it kind of like does a twist. And so it's like vertical at this end over here, but it's laying flat over there. So what I like to do is cut it in half like this, so that you can get good biltong. Alright, so what I do now is I try and cut this best lengthways in half. And you've got to use a sharp knife, and it's best if you can get it in like one pure cut like this, in just one cut all the way through, so that you don't have to recut it too much. But if you do that, sometimes you have to go through the middle of here a little bit more and cut it, but it makes kind of little jaggedy edges. So the best you can do it in one cut, the best, until you get two pieces that look like so. So now you got these pieces like that. And then what I do is I take these pieces and cut these into biltong. You can see the back of the biltong over here. This looks like biltong over here. So if you cut them like this, then they're going to get nice pieces of fat on them, each one. All right, so now I'm going to cut this over here into pieces about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And obviously the thicker pieces are going to take longer to dry. And so again, trying to cut this in as few back and forths as possible. But you can see over here, I've gotten a piece over here that looks like a piece of raw biltong, right? So I'm just going to put that on the side over here, and now I'm going to continue to cut that into about sort of 1 inch sort of thickness. Again, a pretty good looking piece of biltong to be. And then it gets a little tricky at the end over here because you don't want to end up with it's not an even side, so you got to try and do this as best you can. So again, I'm just going to try and cut this. Alright, looks like that could be a potential good piece of biltong. And then this one over here, it's a bit fat. So I hate it when that happens, but it's too fat to leave it like that, so I've got to somehow cut this in half. I think the easiest way is to lay it down like this and go about it this way. And end up with sort of a fatty piece and another piece like that. And now I've got the other half which I started with, and this over here, same sort of deal. It's going to cut it lengthways. That could be a good piece of biltong right there. Over here, it's starting to look like this is maybe 2 fat pieces, or maybe sort of 3 pieces. And when it gets this kind of stuff over here, I don't think this is going to work out well. So I just trim this mucusy kind of gunky stuff off. I don't think that'll turn into good biltong. Throw that away. All right. So let's go ahead and try and cut this now. Looks like a piece of biltong. Again, this one over here is a bit thick, so So I need to somehow trim that down to a thinner piece. And it gets a little tricky because I think to do it vertically, it's not going to cut. It's not going to cut very well. So I think the best way to do this would be sort of cut a piece off like this. It's going to make a sort of a thinner piece, but a piece like that. So this looks like a pretty good piece of biltong potential, and like a sort of a skinnier piece. All right, so what I do now, have a look at this, what it looks like. So I've got 2, 4, 5, I got 9 pieces out of that eye of round. But there, this is, you can see this is the biggest, thickest one, but they're fairly even. And then I use just some kosher salt. Not sure if kosher is better. I saw it somewhere and said it was. And so what I do is I put a decent amount of kosher salt on it. Just put it all over. All right, then I'm just gonna flip it. I know it's a little bit tedious for the video's sake over here. I'm just gonna flip these and then do the other side. Okay, same story. All right, now that I've salted it like that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of put them at an angle, and they kind of bleed out for a bit. And so just gonna put them here on my sink, prop them up however you want. As long as they're kind of at an angle, you'll see how they go out. I'll leave this for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll flip it about halfway through. But you'll see right now there's like no blood over here, but you'll see in about 20, 30 minutes how it's doing. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. Just want to show you what it kind of looks like. It's kind of draining a bit of blood out of it, both these little sections. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take these pieces over here and sort of just flip them over and do it for another 15 minutes, right? And this is the point where they want to slide down to the bottom, but you get the idea. So I actually just put a little bit more kosher salt on. So this salt over here, I had to put a little bit more on. And normally I over salt it, and I should have put less salt on. So you can't. So you can easily over salt this process over here. But looking good. Okay, so while that's going the second 15 minutes on the other side, I have over here, and I've bought this in bulk, and I've had this for a few years now. It's coriander seeds, and I have these meat hooks. Obviously, you'll see that in a second. I put my malt vinegar, I use the British London pub malt vinegar, put it in a nice spray bottle. And then I got my premix biltong spice, which you can find a lot of websites. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do with them all right now. So what I do is I take just a fair amount of coriander, just about this much right here, whatever that is, right? And I put them on the stove and I roast them for a few minutes. So here I got a gas stove. Let's get some gas going. And put that on there. And in a few minutes, that thing's, I don't want to burn them, but I shake them around and I get them just a little bit roasted. And so I let that go for a little bit. It's been about 4 minutes. So we have kind of a thick bottom pan, but I can start to smell them and I can see the chili a little bit. And kind of crackling a little bit. So what I'm going to do right now, I think it's about maybe roasted enough. So I'm just going to turn this off right now. It's still pretty hot and cooking. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a coffee grinder and grind them up. Now I've now placed these into a coffee grinder. Going to put the lid on them, and don't grind them too much, but grind them up a little bit, like that, and then shake them up a little, not too much. Let's see how they they look right now. Looking like that. They're kind of smoking a little bit from being hot still, but they look like that right now. Now I'm going to pour these grounded coriander seeds into a bowl, and you can see most of the husks. You see that, but they're kind of chopped a little. Strong smell of the coriander right now. And then I'm going to add my biltong spice over here. And it's probably maybe a little bit overkill, but I don't think I need too much coriander. And so now I mix these guys up over here, and that's what I'm going to put on my biltong. Okay, so I've got my mix ready, and now what I'm going to do over here, this has been going for about 15 minutes aside. You can see it's leaked off quite a bit of blood. Now I'm going to take the vinegar, and sometimes I've added a kind of a half mix of white vinegar and malt vinegar, and a spray bottle makes it really easy. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this nice and evenly, except I don't have this on the spray, so I've got to change it to spray. Alright, so I'm going to make this, I'm going to spray this pretty good amount. And you kind of almost wash off a lot of the salt, but that doesn't matter. It seems to be good. This other batch over here. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. So there we go. Good, nice coating of vinegar. Okay, both sides have been sprayed with the vinegar now. And what I'm going to do right now is take the trays and just pour out all this extra gunk that's in the bottom over here. The vinegar and blood runoff. And then I'll lay them flat and I'll... Alright, so now I've got my biltong drained off the excess fluid, and I have my premix over here. And what I'm going to do now is just take this over here, I think using my hand, and just kind of coat it like this. And I like to have plenty extra, not run short. And so I'm sure I have plenty over here to do this. And then obviously I'm going to have to flip it, do the other side. But it's starting to smell like some biltong right now. Okay, that's sort of like one side. I'm gonna flip these guys over. And continue with this over here. I think the hand works best. Put that on. Just about the right amount over here. So I have a little bit left over here, but that's fine because I'm just going to keep putting it on because I want to get the edges and everything done over here. So after I put pretty much the whole amount I've got in over here, and then I just make sure I kind of get the edges like that. Try to get as much of the spice sticking to this as possible. Okay, so now that's that stage done. Now what I have these butcher hooks. Got a really spiky part over here that pokes through really easy, and you can hang it like this. So I've got these on the line. You can see the size of these. They're pretty good size. And I want to put it through the fattest part of the meat. So if this end is thinner than the top over here, I'm going to go to the top over here, and I'm just going to push that through like that. So I'll take the next one. It's really easy. I got to look at that. This one's pretty even, so I don't know which side I should put it on. Maybe I should put it over here, but I'll do that. And then I'll go and put that through all my pieces getting ready to hang. So now I have all my 9 pieces of here, all pre-spiked, all ready to hang, which I'll go and put that in the garage here in a moment. And I'll show you how that looks afterwards, but looks like they all got a healthy coating of biltong spice, coriander. I'm going to go and hang hang out in the garage and I'll show you a video.
In my garage over here, and this garage over here is downstairs garage. I don't use this very much. So this is closed and it's a nice dry, cool temperature. But what's very key over here too, I believe, is I put over here, so I got a little fan, which I'm gonna put on pretty good for the first couple of days. So I'm gonna put this on a pretty high velocity. It's not plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna plug that in and then blow it on. Okay, the fan is going, and over here, as you can see swinging in the wind, we got some freshly handled meat, which will be fantastic biltong in about 4 days in this climate. Some places might take a bit longer. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we have 48 hours since this has been hung over here, and it's starting to look pretty good. And actually, some of these pieces are already pretty hard, so if you go squeezing, some of them got pretty hard already. You know, the coriander falling off it, but they're looking pretty good.
It's been 5 days, and this has been hanging in my garage, and it's looking really good. So I'm going to cut into it and you can see how it turned out. Perfect pieces. Yep, and it tastes perfect. So there is your recipe how to do fantastic biltong.